Now, we have talked about all of the major sections that involve an organization, barring one, which is finance. So, in finance, which is the most crucial section of all, we get to see all of the details coming in here. Each kind of transaction is recorded, each kind of process is recorded, whatever is happening on the system is reflecting here. So when we see this first page on the finance, when we click on finance, we land here on this search page. Search is basically a page where you can see all of the transactions that have happened inside of this organization. Now, if you can see the search, enter the search query and click on search button for results. Let's try, suppose I want to search for someone named Steven and I want to check if they had any um, transactions that they have done, so I can look at it. So you can see this is the transaction and they have an outstanding of $75. And now I can go back one step and I can click on outstanding and search, so it shows me only those users who have an outstanding. Now if I check again on outstanding and click on search, it will lead me back to the main listing. That's basically the premise of search. Basically shows you all of the details that are appearing, that all of the transactions that have happened on the system, on this organization in particular. Now all of the transactions that have happened and processed on credit cards on this organization will be shown in this tab. Since this is a test event, sorry, test organize since this is a test organization, we haven't used any credit cards. I'll show you a list and it will be blurred a bit to protect some data. We can see all of the transactions that have been processed on a particular organization appear like this, particularly for the credit cards. Now let's go back to the main system. That's what the processed credit cards show. And you can also apply some filters to drill down to a particular kind of data. Suppose you want to see just Visa cards, transactions that have happened on Visa cards or MasterCard or American Express or all of these. So you can drill down to that particular subset and see what transactions have been done. And you can also exclude refunds. We'll be covering refunds shortly. And then we have process direct deposits. So since whenever a member joins an organization and if they choose to use the direct deposit way of paying the organization, what happens is once their membership is checked, after they are checked, their transaction appears here so that the admin can approve them. In this case it's Nikhil Tripathi. If I can click on his profile, you can see their membership is checked, it's complete, and once it's checked and complete, if they have done a direct debit payment, then it gets reflected here and admin has to approve this transaction along with the drawer name and the EFT date. So let's say we have a person named ABCD and the EFT date is today, and I click on approve here and then I approve this payment and it gets recorded into the system completely. Now we have similar functionality for deposit checks. It works in the same way, and here are our bank details being displayed. So this works in the similar way. Now we have process others, which is interesting in some way. We can process refunds. For example, if someone who has paid an amount, their membership is checked and the payment has been accepted, but we want to give them a discount after all of this. So how do we do that? Let's go back to members. I have the first member, Robin Esther. I can click on his profile. I can see payments, and now you can see the member had paid for all of his outstanding money, but we gave them a refund discount after, and now This discount will only be able to reach them only through a refund. So how will we do that? We can do an admin refund here. As you can see, these are the only two options: admin transfer or admin refund. So we can say admin refund message description. We gave them a discount after, and then let's just confirm the payment, and it gets saved. Now nothing is shown here. If we go back to finances, however, we can see that it gets shown in the process other section and process refund. So this reference and the refundable transaction that we want to refund, let's say we want to uh, refund them $20, discount 20. We have to select the transaction that we want to refund. Oh, I accidentally clicked this. So let's click on discount and let's check this box. It shows $20 will be refunded to them. I'll approve it and then yes, and it goes back to them. This is basically a way of recording things. So if this was done by a credit card, we can process the refund and it will go back to the same credit card. Similar is the process for process transfers. It is the admin transfer that we just saw on the payment page of the member. And similarly for EFT POS and master account, similar functionalities. Now we can go to transactions and we can see all of the transactions that have been done on this organization. You can see Robin Esther had a direct debit transaction twice, and then they had a discount, and all of these details get shown here. So they were given a refund too. It's also shown here. So every transaction gets recorded here, and then we have the reconciliation. Inside of the reconciliation, we have already seen in the reporting section, this is basically the same section, and we have all of the details that come inside of it, like memberships, which memberships were bought, what was the count, what was the amount that we earned from it, and what was the VAT or GST that is applicable to it, and add-ons, charges, discounts, everything gets reconciled, and we have a certain amount here, which is the outstanding. And similarly, we can click on ledger to see which of the transactions have occurred, and we can see their totals as well. We need to set this to 30 to have our data reflect correctly because we have 27 entries. So we can see if I just scroll up a little bit so that my columns are visible. Now if I can see, my item GST is $18.35 and item costs are $385, and my payments are also $385. Now let's go back a bit. We can drill down to some particular data. Suppose we select a accounting type, let's say accrual, and set the payment type to, let's say, direct debit, and apply the filter. We can see this subset of data, it's 13 entries and its totals are shown here. Now we can go back and let's see this unreconciled page, which is basically any of the transactions that are unreconciled yet and haven't been, either they haven't been reconciled yet or they are unreconciling in nature. So these are those transactions, and that's it about the finance section. Thank you.